Take two.
Oh, we're starting.
We're
Hi.
starting. It's on.
You should probably start the video then, too.
Video. Here we go. Asian Festival 2018, I'm told.
Demo day!
By the title of the video that I saved. This was recorded by Steve's wife, Molly.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Steve.
Co-recorded by Tommy. Thank you, Tommy.
Tommy does make an appearance. Molly posted this up on YouTube a long time ago. Got a hold of them to get us a copy of it so we could watch it and review it. I also posted the original on our YouTube channel as well, so you don't have to listen to us talk about it. If for some reason you still want to watch it. Yeah, look at that handsome guy. Oh, I'm there too.
This is you before the beard.
Yeah, well, I go through phases. There's a while where I had a beard, and one of the kids in the kids class was like, I liked you better with a beard. Sometimes I wake up, look in the mirror, and realize I need a haircut. This is about the video.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about me. So we can start talking about the video and the rolls and break falls. Alex just wants to talk about all the work put into putting on a demo.
I love demos. They're so performative, and I don't know, it's energizing because you're nervous and excited.
Nope.
No?
No.
You're not?
Maybe I don't know. No, it's a bother, right? It is a production.
It is a production.
We can agree on that. And so when I say something's a production, it's never a positive.
I must say that it feels weird to do in the way that we do Bujinkan things.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely feels like there's an emotekata. It definitely feels like this is what you expected to see, and now we're doing it.
Yeah. This
isn't what we usually do.
Giving the crowd what they want.
Yeah.
Right? Other people that practice Bujinkan will see this potentially.
So I've done demos for a dance group, Soran Bushi. I did demonstrations for the Taiko group when I was in Japan, and what we practiced every single week is what we did at demos. And sure, there was times where we'd choreograph, you stand here specifically for this demo, but it was never a wild variation.
Well, in this one in particular, we didn't do that. There was talks of dojo pasts. Demos mean different things to different people. How about that? That's where I'm going to cut it, and that's where it's going to start again. I'm going to leave out that whole other sentence. But demos mean different things to different people, and for me, I'm not going to take the time away from training to prepare for a demo for other people that I don't care about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a demo, in your mind, a demo is not
a performance.
It's not,
even though it happens to be a performance,
right?
But it's not. Yeah, does that make sense? Like, because people are watching you perform, it ends up being a performance. But I don't like training, skits.
Okay.
I don't know how else to put it other than like training skits, because I feel like that's what most demos are. And we did do one skit, but it was just a play off of what we normally do.
Right. So I think I actually have a question. I don't want to say I think just yet. Let's pose this.
Sure.
Would you feel differently? Because I believe in the past, all the demos I've been a part of usually were either someone asked you to do it for free, or someone asked you to do it in exchange for a small compensation, like you get a free meal or you get $30.
Yeah, for this one it was pretty much us paying to do it, if I remember correctly.
They offered to give us $30, I think.
Oh, really? I thought we had to pay to secure. Maybe I'm thinking if we wanted a booth.
Yes, booth was money, which we did not choose. We only decided to come for the hour, do the little production, and then leave. Other people would say, if you're interested, come visit us at stand, blah, 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 and we didn't opt for that.
We didn't have a stand. We still got, visitors, but they just came to the side of the stage.
Right,
Anyway.
If we did make the investment and get a booth, or if we were paid more than just $30, would you divert training time for demo practice?
It's not about the money.
Oh.
It's about what... if people like what are people expecting to see? Are they expecting to see a show, or are they expecting to see what you've been training on?
The secrets.
Most people want the secrets. They want to come in, have me tell them they're a good person. I'm gonna just tell them the secrets of martial arts, and they'll be able to do it without spending hours of training. And that's it. And there you have it.
Their key power
and they're
is
a
so
master.
focused that you can see that they are the chosen one, destined to inherit the dragon scroll. And you reveal the secrets on their first day of class, before their gi has even come in the mail from Amazon.
Right. Before I've done that rudimentary background check.
It is a
check on them. Yeah. I'd like, for us a demo, I like to show people maybe some things we're capable of. Of course I use a iaido instead of a boken because it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, you guys have to be able to react to that in order for me to do it. Sure, I'm pulling my cuts at the end. Oof, some of them. I mean, some of those cuts I'm not. Like the bato, I'm not pulling at all. I'm just cutting. But, those cuts at the end when you guys are, like, on the corners of the mats and stuff, I'm not, like, trying to cut you in half there. But, I mean, I did a leaping draw cut at you in one of these.
But that's not something that's outside of training. And you're right. That's not something we specifically trained.
You have to work on your Musodori a lot just to be able to do that.
So I'm thinking of several demos in the past, not that were led by you, but that were led by individuals where I was asked to do something I had never practiced before ever, and after the demo I never was asked to do it again.
Right. And
just because
that seems silly to me.
They knew it would look flashy.
Sure.
I was the right size to pull it off on someone else who was the right size to receive it.
Right. Yeah, that's the performance for performance sake, as opposed to you're doing something in front of people, hence it being a performance.
Yes.
Right? Like, this is innately a performance because we're doing it in front of people. Mm-hmm. I didn't design a performance to be put on in front of people, except for the fact that the space was limited and the surface was limited. And I wanted to make sure everyone got to participate.
Well, and like you said, the only thing we really considered was, where are we standing on these mats? Because they're slipping and sliding all over the place, and we want people to be able to receive leaping sword strikes without running into other people.
That was up to you. Well, yeah, and we wanted people to see what we were doing from multiple angles. Yeah. Right, so, so, like, we had to design the activity around it a little bit, but we didn't design the activity for it. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the more you talk about it, the more I guess we did put work into those things, but
we took into consideration the limitations.
Yeah.
But we didn't, I think, overextend ourselves to fill the expectations. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because, like, we even chose a soundtrack, but we didn't.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, we're watching it right now, so we are watching it again, but I totally forgot there's music playing while we're doing it.
Yeah, there's music playing, and we made sure that it was a long enough time and that it fit how long we would be on the stage, but we didn't go as far as to say, like, time our strikes with the drum beats. Sure. Or change our techniques whenever the songs changed.
Yeah, so in order to practice this demo, well, okay, I didn't do the work. Other members of the dojo, possibly Alex, it sounds like, put a lot of work into this. I remember we had to train the things we did for the demo. Yeah. But that was no different than normal training. Yeah, these are for pretty the most much part. Our warm-ups. Only we had to do it knowing how much time it took. Mm-hmm. We split the kihon up. We didn't do any of the Koshi Sampo, but we're certainly doing the Torite Goho. It looks like I'm doing a Motegyaku to people. You do, like, Onikadaki to people. Okay, so maybe not quite the Torite Goho, because Onikadaki is not in that. Anyway.
Secrets!
Different kihon. Everyone can agree it's kihon of some sort. So we split that up amongst each other. And then at the end, I remember being like, and then Scott and I will just fill in time throwing each other. And that happened.
Quite a long
Holy
time.
Crap, do we just go at it.
Too efficient, and we gave you guys far too much throwing time.
Yeah, I think me and him both ended up slightly injured by the end of this. But it makes sense, because I just watched him do a lock to me, and I let him know that his face was a little close and I might kick it. So, yeah. I mean, even things like that. That's not something you do in a demo. That's something you do when you're being a new guy. That's like, ha, look at this. So
yeah, in the demo, you're supposed to fly across the stage because you need the audience to see that they threw you.
Right, yeah.
How are they going to see unless you leap?
Right, yeah. It was one of those things. I mean, I can make just about anyone's Motogaku look good.
I'll tell you about looking good. I mean, in the moment, I could see the mistakes that we were making, but I felt we looked real good. I thought we were just like...
I wasn't putting any thought into that. So this is probably the third time I've watched it since, maybe, because this is our second take on audio. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll say that much.
It was a hot day. I mean, like you said, we practiced, but we didn't... I wouldn't say we've rehearsed anything necessarily.
Yeah, we just would put the soundtrack on, I think, and go through the techniques.
And as long as we finished the techniques before the music ended, we knew we were good on time.
Yeah, and we knew that Scott and I would be able to fill in the time at the end.
Yeah, because Steve made sure that... I think it was Steve who made sure that the soundtrack was 25 minutes.
Steve took care of all of that.
And that meant that from the time we were given the stage, set up our mats, did the technique, tore down the mats, and bowed out, that...
There was even a tempo change he put in the music so we would know, like, at what point to, like, wrap up or something.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember. He, like, made that part of the soundtrack.
Subtle cues.
Yeah. Well, and that was the day, if you remember, we brought Copal with us, and then we found out that you couldn't have dogs there. So I had to run back to the dojo, drop him off at the dojo, run back up, change, and get on stage. So that's where I was at mentally. I was just like, okay, we're doing this. I mean,
and we made sure while you were gone to have everything set and ready so you could just ascend.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, the timing was, I don't want to say perfect because, but I mean, I got changed in time. Wow, that mat's sliding around on us, isn't it? Yeah, the one thing I remember you mentioning is how you wish, Steve did a little bit of shitty duck walking there. Sorry, Steve.
Aww.
Yeah, but Alex was mentioning how we should have practiced things like duck walking. I can't think of the Japanese name for duck walking right now. Shiko? Shiko, yeah. Because that looks nice, and it's what you should do.
Well, and it's weird because we thought about the audience. We remembered, we'd been to this festival before. We remembered they're going to be sitting on almost all sides of us. So we need them to see it from different angles, so make sure to attack from different angles. But in between the techniques, we didn't think, oh, we may be getting in each other's way by standing up.
Look at my Momodachi.
Momodachi was strong and necessary. It was hot that day.
Yeah.
And if we stayed low on the ground and did the shiko, we would have maintained, I think, better control of the mats underneath us.
Sure. Well, everyone was tired.
Yeah.
You know, it's hot. No one's thinking.
And if that's performatively the biggest flaw that we had, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, so this is the front half. We're like viewing from the quote-unquote front. Right, so there's audiences to the right that you can see in the shot, and then audience to the left as well. And then the sound stage is behind us.
I will say, I would do this again. I think, not just any demo, specifically this one. They've done this festival for so many years now.
We were in good company.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a kung fu school that basically did their warm-ups, did some weapons demo stuff on stuff they just had been working on. It was obvious because it wasn't overtly flashy and silly. It was just basics, you know. But that's what I want to see when someone's showing off, you know. Quote unquote showing off.
Right. To make it look nice, though, they did have everyone, I don't remember if it was ordered by rank, but it was definitely ordered by size so that the younger, smaller kids were in front in neat rows, evenly spaced, and then everyone else was behind them at increments that made it easy to see different people from the audience. So even though they were just doing warm-ups, they were doing it in rows, which added that polish, I think.
Sure. Well, I can't even remember how many members we had in the dojo at this time. But it was one of those things where we were limited on our space, so we were limited on how many people we could even have at the demo, and I wanted to make sure the people that were there were people that were training, and training enough to make it worthwhile.
Yep. Because I think at one point we were going to have some of the green belts join in.
These are green belts.
Well, the other green belts, join in and like, well, why don't you just spin a bow?
Right. I just watched. So Brendan just like rolled out of nowhere and punched at you, and then you didn't only get out. It was just funny to watch from this.
Thanks.
This perspective.
It actually helped. They were practicing bow spinning much more fervently because they thought, I'm going to have to perform this at the demo, or I may be doing this representing the dojo. And
sure.
So as a motivator, this was actually quite nice. And then it turned out availability, or they just didn't feel comfortable with it.
I honestly don't remember.
Time.
Maybe the way we ended up planning the demo.
And so begins the Throw Fest.
Yeah. I think it was meant to be like a 1-for-1. So it's like, I do something, you do something, I do something, you do something. Then it went on for so long, we couldn't even remember what we had done and what we hadn't done. Because there's a lot. And then like, I just did, like, a shito and, like, basically did, like, choyoku.
You guys you can't see because...
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, because he definitely thought it was because he came through with that kick. Yeah, so...
You can't see because you're staring at the back of my head right now, but I'm frantically eye gesturing to Steve and Brendan like, is this
like Tommy?
Okay?
Is that how you're eye gesturing? Woo! Jeez, oh man, yeah. Yeah, Kuki Shinru, it is what it is. I know it when I see it.
Crowd pleaser. It's just the crowd doesn't know that that's what it is. It's pleasing them.
Right. Woo!
Now
I'm really gonna have to edit our viewing to try and match up all my stupid reactions. God, I hate it. I get so distracted by these stupid videos. I start reacting to them, and then I can't sync up the audio. It's one of those things where I guess if you're doing the training right,
who's around to see it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I just feel
but
that
at the same time, if anyone were to see it, yeah. But some of the, I'm totally cutting you off. I'm on a different train over here.
It's okay.
Because some techniques just really don't look good to viewers. So.
Right.
But
yeah.
In America,
I feel this is the closest we'd ever get to an Embu.
Oh.
I don't think the Bujinkan does Embu, at least not. My knowledge.
I was in Japan when we did an Embu at the Budokan.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it's a funny story. The people I was with will remain anonymous. I don't remember where we were when it happened, but we got there right when it ended. People were walking out. They thought we had just walked out, and so we had to cover our tracks like we were there and watched it.
Oh, no.
So we had to... like, when someone was coming out, we'd hear something that somebody saw, and then we'd bring it up, and I remember one of Nagase Sensei students was working on, like, shuriken for it. So, like, I was able to, like, bring that up, like I saw it, but I just knew he was working on it. And then I heard somebody else say something about this one thing they saw, and so I was like, oh, yeah, well, who was the one who had the whatever? And they're like, oh, that was so-and-so. Holy mackerel.
Nice
yeah,
save.
That was very silly. But yeah, so we do Embus, and it was at the Budokan. I don't know who was invited, or like if there were. I don't know a lot about it because I showed up after the fact. But I don't know if it was just Bujinkan or if there were like Gendai Budo there, Koru there, or what. Wow, we really are doing a lot of Kukishin stuff, aren't we?
Do what you know.
Do what you know. Yeah, do what you're comfortable with, I guess.
So the difference I always thought that the difference between Embu and Demo were that Embu were done for people who know. It's me performing a technique in front and for people who know the technique.
Yeah, but Embus are for the public in the end. Embus are always public, aren't they?
Embus are always public, but they're not for the public. Our performance was for the public. We were not performing for our peers or superiors in the Bujinkan here.
I feel like Embus and Demo is like Japanese versus English almost.
Maybe, and that's why I prefaced it by saying I don't know enough to really speak on this, but I feel that an Embu is either done at a shrine for the gods, is done organized by a martial arts school lineage of some kind or a group of martial arts schools, and that
I
the
can't
public is
Google.
welcome.
Recording with my phone.
And that the public is welcome to view either of those.
So you're saying you think the difference is a demo is usually people are showing off.
Yes.
And an embu, you're not showing off, you're just...
I feel like the demo that I've always been a part of have been you're performing to attract. Like here, in theory, we could have gotten new students from this. If we performed well enough, if people thought we were cool enough, they might have come up to us. They may have joined the dojo. And in the past, when I've done demos specifically for dojo, that's always been the case. Like, we're going to go perform, and they're going to think it's cool. And maybe we'll get new people. Whereas I feel in Japan, whenever it's an embu, it's for the gods. So look your best. By the way, people might also be there watching.
So I can't stand the idea of demos, the way you describe them.
Right.
But I am perfectly fine with embu.
Yeah.
Which is why I guess we more or less conducted this
Like
quote-unquote demo as an embu.
as we understand it. Or as I just explained it.
Yeah,
Whether
in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, though?
Yeah, I guess it's like the commercialization of martial arts and one of the other things that I'm not good at marketing and stuff like that. I mean, there's a place for it, I guess. That's what you just described.
Yeah.
We're putting on a live commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess in a sense this is, but it's not what it was designed to be, right? Like, this wasn't designed to attract people. It's things we train and enjoy training.
Yep.
And if people were to join, they would know what... They could get a sense of what they'd be working on by watching this.
Right.
But we didn't design it in a way to specifically attract people because I don't know what people want. So it makes it really hard for me because I don't know what people are interested in. But it's like, it doesn't matter if you enjoy sword or not. You're going to have to learn it. It doesn't matter if you enjoy bow or not. You're going to have to learn it. It just so happens when we do something that someone does enjoy, it's like, oh, good. I just expect you to be better at it. Like, that's how it works. If you enjoy something, I just expect you to be better at it than other people. It's like, oh, well, you enjoy doing this? Well, then you can get better at it faster.
You have the motivation to focus and drill and practice it.
Right. Whereas all the other things that you have to do that with anyway.
Do the obligatory amount of effort.
Yeah. Probably have enough audio at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we may just have it enough on what I consider embu and demo.
Yeah, I don't know. I really
think
I don't know. Maybe I think it might be more of a cultural thing than anything, but it's hard for me to speak on as of only being of one culture.
Embu, my Japanese dictionary. Embu, martial arts demonstration, martial arts training, is just the literal.
Like I said, I think it's just a word.
And it's the same N for, like, that's used in a dance performance or just a performance, an act, a play, any kind.
It's just a demo.
But why do it? Like, I've never heard of a Japanese...
But it's not for the same... Well, like you said, it's not a... It's not a commercial.
Uh-huh.
It's a demonstration.
Right. It's like...
Like, you can demonstrate something without expecting anyone to try and want to follow you.
So for this one, I felt like we were more or less organized street performers.
I don't know what that means. What about dance? Did dance feel different?
Dances were always a performance. We went on... This is
Are
your
you
music.
entertained?
This is your music. This is your choreography. You are going on just for people's visual amusement. And they knew we were coming. Then we would dance, and then we'd leave.
Well, there's a lot of interplay there. Because the reason... I mean, we had to do things in a certain way to meet some of those standards.
Right.
Right. So I think it's like, what comes first, though? What are you prioritizing?
A recital, you are performing in front of other performers. Your friends and family are going to be there, sure.
Right.
So I see embu more like recitals, and demo are more like
And that's why
advertisements.
I hate the standard demo, once again, but I see it more as a recital. Like and subscribe! Visit us online.
Instagram.
Facebook.
Gamandojoinfo.
Website. Don't email me. Well, I won't respond if you email us, Alex will. So go ahead and shoot us an email. I have a newsletter that I sometimes release when I have time. And Alex does Japanese tutoring, even though she doesn't know what an embu is.
I know what an embu is. I just have a different feeling for what it means.
Connotation versus denotation.
Katakana notation.
And that's a wrap.